What's going on, wrestling fans? Tony Mango here, welcoming you to another edition of the Internet Wrestling Community Outreach, part of the Smark Out Moment Smack Talk podcast for the week. We're going to be covering a lot of different things here, the wrestling trivia question of the week, the commercial side of things, and a couple other stuff. You should know the score by now. If you don't know and you're brand new, then welcome, everybody. But let's start things off with the Smark My Words, the comment of the week, and this winner this week is Silent Wind of Doom, for something that he left in our Monday Night Raw live chat on the Megamaniacs Facebook group. A picture of Demolition was posted when it was called into question whether or not they were actually still alive. We know that Crush, unfortunately, isn't, but Axe and Smash are. And his response was, "Holy crap, they live, if you can call that living." And at first, I didn't really laugh at it all that much because it's kind of morbid, but then I started thinking about it, and it actually kind of got me to chuckle. So for making me go back and like a comment after thinking about it a second time, I'm going to give you the win there. So thank you, Silent Wind of Doom, for leaving that comment, and thank you to everybody else for leaving your comments all over the place on YouTube, on Twitter, and so on and so forth, including the aforementioned group on Facebook. You can find that at facebook.com/groups/themegamaniacs, and if you're not a part of that, you should definitely sign up, because that's where we do all those live chats, not only for Monday Night Raw, but for SmackDown 205 Live, the pay-per-views, and throughout the week on just some miscellaneous random-ass things that we decide to post on there. So guarantee you'll have a lot of fun on that. Next week is when we're going to be taking care of that December mailbag special. So if there's any questions you want to ask us, either on the wrestling side of things or completely unrelated to wrestling, doesn't have to be a wrestling-related question, go ahead and send us a tweet at SmarkOutMoment with the hashtag mailbag, or better yet, leaving an email through the contact form of the website. I will catalog everything that you guys send over the next couple of days, and probably around Wednesday or so, we'll be taking care of that. I'm not too sure exactly when we're going to do it, though. So the sooner that you send these questions in, the better. That way, you know that you can get them in ahead of time. Because if we decide that we're going to do this on Tuesday night, and you're used to us recording this Wednesday night, that whole extra day, you're not going to be able to send them in. So whenever you think of something, send it our way, and I will catalog those, and then we'll answer it when we answer it. Nonetheless, we are in December, so 'tis the season for holiday gift giving and different things like that. And if you're feeling particularly generous and you want to try to help Smark Out Moment grow in the future, there's a couple things you guys should keep in mind. First things first, there are always worse people off than what anybody can be. I make very little money when it comes to these things, so all that stuff helps me out a lot, but this is a season where you should be donating to charities of people that are far worse off than I am. I have no reason to complain when people are suffering in horrible ways that I can't even imagine. So as much as I am scraping by with what I'm scraping by with, people are doing far worse. So if you do have a lot of spare change and you can give it to whatever you can do, try to help out these families that can't give their kids Christmas and stuff like that. But if you have a lot of it laying around, of course, that stuff would be greatly appreciated, and if you want to try to pass that spare change my way, then you can do so with YouTube's fan funding module, the Patreon account, or the most direct method of all, the PayPal button on smarkoutmoment.com. Or you can also pick up some t-shirts, mugs, and some other things like stickers and whatnot over on our Redbubble and TeePublic shops. Maybe you want to give them as a gift for something. Maybe you want to tell your friends and your families if you want to get a Smark Out Moment shirt, they could buy them there, that kind of a thing. We also have TeePublic shops for Fanboys Anonymous and A Mango Tees. So a couple other things that aren't on the wrestling side of things too. Maybe if you got some people who are really into Marvel, they want to pick up one of those shirts, browse your catalogs over there, see if there's anything you like. That money goes directly in the same fashion as the other money, where it's all just to try to keep the lights on here, so to speak. But you can also help spread the word about the website in a few ways. The Sign Me Up initiative is one of those. Just take a sign that says Smark Out Moment to a wrestling show and take a picture of yourself holding it up. Send that my way, and I will give you a shout out on the website for that. And most importantly of all, you can help us grow our audience. I've mentioned this before, the YouTube's algorithm has changed, so the more interactivity that you guys have, subscribing, leaving comments, giving the thumbs up to like the video, that stuff's going to help out a lot now, even more than normal. But you can also like and share our posts on Facebook, retweet and follow us on Twitter, share websites, articles, share the videos, post things on Reddit, share things on message boards, anything to kind of get the word out there. All that stuff is going to help bring us some new people, and the more people that we get, the more views we get. The more views we get, the more money we make. The more money we make, the better things that we can do. So everybody wins, right? And the same thing applies to fanboysanonymous.com, the sister website that deals with all the nerdy things like movie reviews and stuff like that. So if you want to geek out with me on that kind of stuff, head on over to fanboysanonymous.com, follow the Facebook and Twitter accounts, subscribe to the YouTube channel, do all that same kind of stuff that I just mentioned a minute ago. And that brings us to the major topic of the video, the wrestling trivia question of the week, otherwise known as the Ask Him. Last week's question actually was slightly off from what I originally had thought that I was going to put it down for. I had put down which 2 tag teams held a WWE Tag Team Championship for less than a day, and there were actually 3 of them. So some people got this right, some people put out some names that weren't necessarily true, but the answers were... And this, of course, was ignoring everything like the weird championships like the United States tag title and whatnot. It was Owen Hart and Yokozuna were given their titles back after losing them the previous night to 2 dudes with attitudes, HBK and Diesel. What a great name. And they lost them that night on Monday Night Raw, September 25th, 1995. Edge and Christian won and lost the titles the same night on Raw, March 19th, 2001. And John Cena and The Miz both won and lost it on the same episode of Raw, February 21st, 2011. So, quite a bit of people getting The Miz and John Cena correct, but throwing The Miz and David Otunga, and they actually lasted a full day. They won it on bragging rights, lost it on Raw. So that's the weird discrepancy that seems to have mixed up some people. And it looks like the people that are getting about half credit for this kind of stuff, Christopher Marin, Declan Macri, William Carey, Bobby Lesnar G86, Peter Piccinini, Dominator 39R, and he mentions, unless you count The Rock and Taker when they won and lost the belts between Raw and a taped SmackDown on 23 hours. Nah, I wasn't going to count that one. That's something that would have been a little bit more of a Tony thing, and screw that, Try to get around the Tony questions a little bit here and there. So that brings us to this week's question, and since Tribute to the Troops is happening, I figured I would try to ask a question related to that, and the first thing I thought of was, who is credited as having come up with the Tribute to the Troops idea to begin with? Who is the one that started this all? If you think you know the answer, you want to leave a guess, or you want to throw any other kind of comments below, go ahead and do that. I will reveal the answer next week, and we'll be answering a question next week about Santa Claus. Just going to give you a little hint about that. I already have my question lined up for next week and the week after that, actually. Well, technically 2 weeks after that, because the week after that will be the Smark My Words Awards. But that's it for this week's edition of the IWC Outreach. I want to thank you all again for listening, and I want to remind you to hit that subscribe button, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, give this video a like, and stay tuned to the channel and the website for more. Our main event for this week coming up next is going to be my predictions for Roadblock End of the Line. After that, well, on Sunday, we're going to be doing our usual post-show, unless anything crazy happens, but no matter what, there will be a review up in some fashion Sunday night. So, for now, this has been another Smark Out moment, and I'm being counted out.